welcome to A Pinch of Basile. I am your wonderful host, Basil. Rosemary and Herb's son. I am on live right now on the Pinch of Basile show. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Janice Hermson. And how could we ever do this show without our chief engineer, Christian Meyer? Christian, Janice, so good to see you. And Janice, you had a lot of crazy stuff going on in your life. So listen, God bless you. I'm glad you're on the air with us. And I got to be honest with you, folks, right now, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can go to Facebook Live right now. Facebook Live, go to Basile. Are you listening to me? Basile fans, watch this on Facebook. You can also catch us on americamatters.us. Catch us on there and look under Basile, Pinch of Basile. That's all I want to say. But right now, folks, before we go on, Janice, how are you? You doing okay?
I am great. I'm happy to be here.
I'm sure you are. We'll discuss everything later on. Listen, but right now, without further ado, we're going to go to our wonderful guest who's been on many times. I love him. I consider him a very, very close personal friend. Gus Bilirakis is the congressman for the, I guess he's the Florida's 12th congressional district. He was first elected back in 2006. He is serving his sixth term, God bless him, in the United States House of Representatives. He's from Palm Harbor. He represents all the Florida 12, like I said. Gus serves on a number of committees, including being the co-chairman of the Military Veterans Caucus, the co-chairman of the Congressional Hellenic Caucus, and the Congressional Hellenic Israeli Alliance. Thank you for being with us, Gus.
Oh, well, maybe not, huh?
Well, I thought I was doing really good.
You paused. It's that pregnant pause.
It was that thing where I was supposed to bring him right up, wasn't I? Was that what we were going to do?
I'm pretty sure that was the game.
Was that the game? I just want to make sure.
I thought maybe this was a joke you planned, right? Yay.
No, I did not. I did not do said joke.
And when we bring you on, Gus, then don't say anything.
Well, we're there trying to get Gus on the air with us. Oh, here he comes. There better be some huge legislative information going on. Gus, how are you? Yeah, we're live right now. Awesome. Gus, how are you?
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing fine.
I know you are. I'll tell you what. How about you? Everything is fine. I know good? Families are doing great, thank God. My daughter's about this close to graduating college. And then, my wife is telling me things like, well, I can't even go what the hell she's telling me, Gus, because that would be too much information, and we certainly don't want to.
I understand completely. I understand completely. I have one of those too.
Yes, I know you do. But Gus, listen, I know you're busy as hell, and thanks so much for joining the show. Yeah. Janice and I
guys,
are both.
Can we put the volume up a little more?
Okay. I know that we've been involved right now with everything going on with the. You're working right now with the coronavirus outbreak. You got Representatives Peters, Engel, Guthrie, Eshoo, Hudson, McCall, Schrader, yourself, and you're introducing a bipartisan bill to prevent critical access to drug shortages. How's that going?
Yeah, well, it's going well. We're having a markup tomorrow, Basil, so we'll probably discuss it in the healthcare committee. But what we want to do is stop depending on these foreign countries, such as China, to manufacture these drugs. They're developed actually here in the United States. All the research is done in the United States. We need to streamline the FDA process, make it easier to get online. So that bill's going well.
Gus, not to interrupt you, but is it because of the FDA issues that we have here that we're just shipping everything over to foreign countries?
To a certain extent it is. We do need to streamline the process, Basil, and conduct the clinical trials on a lot of this medication. Right. But we have to really fast track it. And due to the virus over there, starting in China, what it did was it created a shortage here in the United States, but we should not have to be depending on these foreign countries, particularly since it's, the drugs are developed here in the United States.
Right.
So, or at least the research is. So
well, I mean, you do the R&D here, for God's sakes.
Of course.
So what if you're going to do the R&D here, then why not just go ahead and do the development of the drug here, create the drug here, or at least keep it in North America where we have complete access between Canada and ourselves, even Mexico. I mean, whoever can make the drug here in North America, especially in the United States.
We know it's safe as well if Absolutely. It's here in North America. So that's something that we've been working on. There are a lot of other issues that a lot of people hear from the media that we're not doing a lot, but we are doing a lot, particularly in committee. But unfortunately, it's taking a long time to get these things on the floor of the House of Representatives. But Congress reacts, when there's a crisis, and there definitely is a crisis. And I've been in several hearings, several briefings. And folks just have to be cautious, take all the proper precautions. The elderly, take care of your parents, your grandparents. It's so very important. If they do have a cold or if they have a chronic condition, then they need to stay at home. Again, this affects mostly the elderly as far as any type of death situation, but it affects all of us. The young kids, to a certain extent, are not as susceptible, and thank God for that.
Right.
But us old guys, Basil, we've got to be careful.
Speak for yourself, Gus.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
exactly. You're right.
No, listen for anyone, but look. A little bit of a pound of prevention. What is it? An ounce of prevention?
Pound of cure.
Wash your hands, for God's sakes.
Yeah, wash your hands.
You got 10 seconds going out, Basil.
I know. Okay. Gus, we're going to be right back. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Pinch of Basile, and we'll be right back with our guest, Congressman Gus Billerback.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile. Folks, for all of you who may have questions, the Congressman Gus Billerback from the 12th District in Florida in Palm Harbor. He's on with us. If you have questions either on Basile Fans on Facebook Live, if you can also get a hold of us at 1-800. What is that number?
No, it's 844-790-8255.
That's right. And then what is that text number too, Janice?
775-237-2266.
So we're right now going back to Congressman Gus Billerback, who's telling me all the precautions that they're taking, trying to minimize the coronavirus that's going on right now, and what we can do. Listen, folks, the number one thing, let's be honest, keep washing your damn hands. Yeah, it's not difficult.
With soap.
Wash your hands. Yeah,
with soap.
Yes, please.
Preferably. We tried the stone. That didn't work. Rocks are rocks, and there we go. But, folks, hot water, just put it under there. Do it for about 30 seconds. Wash in between your hands, underneath your fingernails. And try not to touch your face. You have no idea how many times we probably touch our faces in about an order.
It's
about
hard, but you got to make an effort. Yeah,
your eye scratches. You want to scratch. Use the back of your hand, your knuckle. Do something like that if you have to, right at that very moment.
So now everybody is touching grabbing a tissue, doing something because now you want to do it.
Yeah, and then use the sanitizers.
Yes,
as much as possible. Sure. Even if you touch a door handle or an elevator button, sanitize as soon as possible. That helps a lot. And Clorox is another way. Even on the label, my chief of staff told me that on the label it says that it kills the coronavirus. So Clorox is something that's important as well.
Well,
and sometimes even like the spray bottles, the generic spray bottles that you can get. If you put a couple of tablespoons or even a couple of teaspoons, I should say, in a full actual container of a spray bottle, it may not have the scent of some of the nice things that are out there, but you can spray, because that's what they use, health departments, because I help run the Greek Festival here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we have them all over. We have enough. We have Clorox in them. 2 teaspoons, put it in there, mix it up, and believe it or not, that kills the germs as well.
That's
so,
great.
But Gus, let's go back to some of the things that you and I were discussing, and some of the things that Elsie and I, we were talking about Vice President Pence and how his team is doing, putting this whole thing together, and I think that's fantastic. He's been really leading and taking the ball. A lot of people,
I think so.
The media, is on the left side, has like, oh, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. He allows the doctors to talk. He tells them what's going on. He is the leader of this project. President, Trump actually went and said, hey, you're taking the ball on this.
Yeah.
And I think he's done a fantastic job. And a lot of people don't understand, Gus, either. I mean, you're talking China, you're talking Italy. A lot of these countries don't have the facilities that we do, of bathrooms with hot and cold running water. And this, I'm not putting those countries down, but I don't think anyone has the infrastructure of plumbing and stuff like that like we do. So take advantage of it, folks. Gus, tell me what else is going on right now besides the coronavirus.
Well, I'm working on a veterans bill that is supposed to be hotlined by the Senate in the next couple of days. It has to do with adapted housing for our wounded warriors that are severely wounded. We're increasing the allotment to about $92,000, and then also making sure that, so it'll be a total of 92, but then you get another 92,000 after 10 years to customize your home if you're a wounded warrior. In other words, severely wounded. But these heroes have a right to move and use that allotment, but not just once, the full 92, but twice. And then they can move again anytime they want, maybe for a job opportunity. Their families grow. So I'm really excited that might get done by the end. Well, we're hoping it'll pass the Senate, and then it's got to come back to the House because the Senate amended it. And hopefully we'll get this done within the next couple of weeks. There's something tomorrow, or actually Thursday morning, that I've been working on. Actually, I have 2 bills. I'll talk about one. We're proving with a pilot project that if we allow our veterans to get dental care, you talk about prevention, getting dental care, oral care on a regular basis, then that will prevent a lot of these chronic diseases such as diabetes. So that bill, I'm very thrilled. I saw this morning that's on the markup on the agenda on Thursday morning in the Veterans Committee. We're working on a lot of issues, Basil. Some of them are not as sexy, if you will, but they mean a lot. The impact personally to the individual is important. I also am working on it because I'm a chair of the Hellenic Caucus, as you know, and the Hellenic Israel Alliance.
Right.
We're working on getting some assistance to Greece with this border issue involving Turkey. As you know, Turkey is basically forcing refugees, but not just refugees, but illegal immigrants. They're not all Syrian.
Right.
And they're coming from the Middle East, and they're not being screened, and Turkey is forcing them over the border, and it's creating a crisis for Greece. And it's escalated. It's escalated in the last few weeks, but it's just wrong. And a lot of them are trying to get to other parts of Europe through Greece. But the Prime Minister, I've been working closely with him. Mitsotakis, his name is Kyriakos Mitsotakis, He's doing an outstanding job. We've been working with the State Department and also the embassy here in Greece. In the U.S., the Greek embassy.
Is there any pressure, Gus, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is there any pressure from the United States and other countries that tell Turkey and Ottawa and just say, hey, stop. You can't push these people into an already, and let's be honest with you, Greece financially is not in a fantastic position to be able to handle in these certain areas of Lesbos and all these other different islands that these people are going into. They can't handle it.
On top of that, we've got the virus. And there have been cases in Greece, too. So it spreads the virus as well. The president has come out with a statement back in Greece, and actually he spoke with the prime minister last week. I was communicating with the prime minister, and he says, obviously, that Greece has a right to defend themselves and protect their borders, their sovereignty. So the United States, even behind the scenes with the State Department, is working for Greece. Now, what we're trying to do is get some equipment that Greece will request, such as goggles, such as cutters, Coast Guard cutters, a lot of the excess equipment that the U.S. has to get it to our ally as soon as possible. And then also putting sanctions on Turkey for illegal drilling. That's been done to a certain extent. So making a lot of progress in these areas. But I continue to do my work on the healthcare committee, but also on the Veterans Committee.
And Gus, you always do a fantastic job.
Thank you. I try, Basil.
No, and
I'm not as good as you, but I try.
No, let me tell you, you're better than me. I'm afraid to give you a joke book because you may try and take that job away from me.
I don't think so. Nobody's going to take that from you, Basil.
Gus, let me ask you a couple more questions.
Yes.
I guess the one thing that, because look, I want to get back to the Warriors for a second, and I always tell people we have an organization, the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association, also known as the AHEPA.
Great job.
Fantastic job, especially when they have the Dogs for Warriors, and it is a wonderful program. And the work that you do with all the warriors out there is just fantastic, Gus. And I think the country, especially your district, needs to know all, and especially because you're in. Hey,
Basil,
one of the
can
largest...
I interrupt you? I'm sorry,
but
we have a question from Adrian Roy, and I thought you might like to let one of the guests do that.
Yes? Absolutely.
Okay. She said, "Hi, guys. Greetings from London. I have a question for the congressman. What is his view on the Cyprus situation?"
Well, my view is that Turkey needs to get out of the occupied area and remove their troops off the border. And again, this is an occupied area. They're drilling off the coast of Cyprus illegally, declaring an exclusive economic zone, which they have no right to. So no, we're working on that, and hopefully, we're educating the administration on these particular issues, and I believe we are making progress. But again, since 1974, it occurred in 74. Turkey invaded Cyprus, and that area is occupied, the northern part of Cyprus, and people need to get their properties back. The churches have been turned into mosques in some instances, discos, what have you. The cemeteries have been desecrated. It's just an awful situation. We need to be stronger because Turkey has not been a good ally. And this was the great injustice occurred in 74. And, we don't have, there's no violence. For them to have 30, 40,000 troops, in the border, it's just unacceptable as far as
truly is. And Gus, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the wonderful work that you do. We are coming close to that time. So, Gus, again, thank you for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to A Pinch of Basile with our guest, Gus Cordovez.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Now back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back at Pinch of Basile. Don't forget, we live stream on Facebook. That's right, on Basile Fans, Basile Fans. Like us, watch us, comment on us, let us know what you think. Adrian Roy, who just actually sent us a question. Thank you, Adrian, for watching the show. I love you. And listen, for all of those, you can also catch us on the TuneIn app on any phone or device. Once you have the app, just search America Matters and go directly to A Pinch of Basile. That would be me. So I want you all to do that, and we love to hear your comments. Go to my Basile Fans page, like I said, on Facebook. And if you have any questions, give us a call at 844-790-8255, or you can also text Janice one more time for that text number.
That is 775-237-2266.
And, you know, I want to thank, and it was something that we were talking about off the air, and Janice truly was appreciative about it. Janice, go ahead and say about
what
this.
I was telling Basil is that Congressman Bilirakis got a bill signed into law that ensures patients in need of bone marrow and stem cell transplants have access to life-saving treatment. And because that's such a new treatment, especially not so much the bone marrow, but the stem cells, I just think that it's phenomenal that something like that is in. And I'll be honest, I pay attention a lot to stem cells, and I had not heard about it. So when I read this, I wanted to bring it up and make sure everybody knew about it.
Very cool. Again, you know, a lot of people sometimes don't.
I should say that it's covered by Medicare, and that's something that is rare for something that's expensive like that.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
And again, thank Gus for helping push that legislation through. Again, you know, for a guy who's been there since 2006, he's really made his mark not only on the veterans but also on healthcare issues, like we just discussed. And I'll tell you what, he's my hero. I mean, I love this guy. I mean, he's got a great sense of humor, and he also knows how to he knows how to do the good works that need to be done and get rid of the garbage that's, you know, that white noise that's off to the sound. He gets rid of it, and that's what I really appreciate about him. So all my people out there, a lot of you are dying to ask me, Basil, where the hell are you going to be playing? Well, before we even go there, because we had such a wonderful last question from Adrian Roy, who is listening on Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beats Radio. Beats Radio.
I like that one.
Wow.
It was great. Come on.
I loved it. All Funksy is going, what the hell was that? That's what we do. We love our fans all over the world. We love it that you spread it from Australia to South Africa, all the way throughout Europe, here in North America, South and Central America. Thank you. We even got Eskimos listening in North Pole and South Pole. They're just crazy. So I want to thank you all. You can always find out where I'm touring at. Go to BasileLive.com. That's BasileLive.com. Check us out. See what's going on. A lot of news that we can talk about in a little bit. But listen, just to let you guys know where I'm going to be, because I truly believe Cool is trying to kill me. I'll be on various Caribbean cruise line. I'll be on, let me see, March 11th through the 17th. That's right. I leave tomorrow. I'm going to be in Royal Caribbean on the Vision of the Seas. On March 26th through the 1st, I'll be on, again, Royal Caribbean, Mariner of the Seas. April 2nd through the 7th, I'll be on Royal Caribbean again, Vision of the Seas, one more time. And then I'm ground. I'm going to stay on the ground for a while.
Yay.
I'm going to be at All Saints Greek Orthodox Church in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania on April 24th. On the 25th, I will be in Greenlawn, New York, in St. Paraskevi Greek Orthodox Church in Greenlawn, New York. April 26th, I'll be in Cleveland, Ohio at the Cretan House. You want to find out all this information, go to BasileLive.com, BasileLive.com. And, you know, Janice, it's good seeing you, and I hope everything is cool with you and you're doing well. And
hanging in there.
I don't know where you find the time to do all the things that you do, but I think you need to give me more time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes. Last minute Jan, that's me.
I really
20 minutes before the show, Basil's getting his notes, right?
Yeah.
He says, I can print something else out. I had a little emergency yesterday, so it kind of kept me from doing my norm. So Basil's just trying to give me a bad time about it, that's all.
No, I'll tell you what, I don't know how you do what you do. But you did have the opportunity to find some bizarre but true fun facts.
Yes, because we need joy in our lives.
Yes, we do need joy in our life. I want you to start with some of these. Because I'm the one who always has to start. I want you to start and see what I have to say.
All right. Hang on a second. Now I have to find all my notes because, of course, I wasn't prepared to start. I know what I want to start with, and you probably do too.
Yeah,
I want to start with the bees who paid their respects, right? Because buzz, because I am not a bee fan, and bees love me, and they love to sting me. So when I read this, I said, well, okay, maybe I have to have a little bit of respect. Margaret Bell, who kept bees in Lintwarden, about 7 miles from her home in Ludlow. All the people in England are hating me. Shropshire, because I can't pronounce anything. Died in June 1994. Soon after her funeral, mourners were amazed to see hundreds of bees settle on the corner of the street opposite the house where she had lived for 26 years. The bees stayed there for an hour before buzzing off over the rooftops, so they were just paying their respects to dear Margaret Bell. The local press ran a photograph of the bees hanging on the wall in a cluster. I just thought it was a good story, especially for somebody like me that really doesn't like bees.
And you think that the bees literally...
I think they were paying their respects. Absolutely. Of course they were.
You gotta stop drinking on the job and or off.
It's the only thing I can do, Basil.
Yeah. Join the club, kiddo. Join the club. It's good. Phantom car crash. A phantom car crash. That's right.
Yeah, this one was pretty good.
Yeah, December 11th. I want to tell you, December 11th, 2002. Two motorcyclists.
Motorists.
I'm sorry. Two motorists. If I can just read, that'd be lovely. Two motorists called police to report seeing a car veering off the A3 trunk. Is it Trunk Road?
I'm not.
Yeah, A3 Trunk Road. Heading.
Yes, Trunk Road.
Headlights blazing at the Burpham and Surrey. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
No, you couldn't massacre it any worse than me.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Throughout the search, they uncovered a car concealed in dense undergrowth and the long dead driver nearby. It turned out to be that the crash had already happened 5 months earlier when the driver, Christopher Chandler, had been reported missing by his brother. Wow.
How about that?
Isn't that something?
And they thought they saw it. Now, what are you drinking?
Yeah.
You believe that? What are you drinking?
I think they're smoking something that was in that underbrush that was there. Okay.
Adrian said I pronounced it perfectly. So there you go. Thanks, Adrian. Even if I didn't, you're very supportive, and I appreciate it.
She's a sweetheart and a half. I keep telling people. She's got a wonderful book and we had her on as a guest. Yeah. And if you remember, I think it's Do You Know Who I Am? Mm-hmm. And it is a wonderful book. You must go get it. We got to bring her back because that was a time when she had some technical issues on her side.
I remember
so that. So we definitely have to bring her back as a guest. Adrian, I love you, sweetheart. Let me see. What else we have? Enigmatic Earth Divot. Am I saying that correctly?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and do this one. You know this one?
Oh, I guess I can. Sure. An irregular shaped hole about 10 foot by 7 foot with 2 foot vertical sides. Wow, I got to think about that. Found, let's see, figure that out, right? Was found on a remote farm near Grand Coulee, Washington State in October 1984. It had not been there a month earlier. Dribblings of earth and stones led to a 3-ton grass-covered earth divot 75 feet away. It was almost as if the divot had been removed with a giant cookie cutter, except that the roots dangled intact from the vertical side of both hold and slab. There were no clues such as vehicle tracks, and an earthquake was thought very unlikely. So there you
Wow.
go. There you go. I love it. Good sound effects.
Listen, folks, for those of you who are watching right now, and you may be throughout Europe, you are being broadcast live with Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beat Radio. Greek Beat Radio.
Basil, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay. Hum Misty for me.
You're not going to do my balloon buddies?
Yeah.
Come on, do my balloon buddies. I did that divot thing
All
for
right.
you.
All right. Laura Buxton released a helium-filled balloon during a celebration for her grandparents' gold wedding anniversary in Blurton, Staffordshire in June 2001. Attached to the balloon was her name and address and a note asking the finder to write back. 10 days later, she received a reply. The balloon had been found by another Laura Buxton in the garden hedge of her home in Pusey, Wiltshire, 140 miles away. Both Lauras were age 10. Both had 3-year-old black Labradors, a guinea pig, and a rabbit.
What a great story.
You wanted me to read that? That was the one you wanted me to read. I appreciate that. I'm sure all my fans that are watching go, oh, thank God he read that. You wanted me to do this one besides hum Misty for me?
Okay.
Can you hum Misty for me?
Are we going to go out, Basil?
Oh, do we have to go out?
Time to go out.
All right. Hey, listen, you're listening to Pinch of Basile. We'll get back to hum Misty for me right after these messages.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
You are indeed back. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile. I am Basil, your wonderful host with the most. If you have any questions for me, just give me a call at 844-790-8255, 844-790-8255. You can also text us as well. Janice, give them that wonderful number for text.
That number is 775-237-2266.
That's right. And you can also email me questions. Sometimes people want to, send me some questions and stuff. You can always reach me at info, at basillive.com, BASILELIVE.com. Send me any questions you got. Is there a personal matter or something like that, or you want to do an event or whatever, get a hold of us that way. You can always find out where we are. Go to my Basil fans at Facebook at Basil Live, BASILE. I'm sorry, Basil fans, BASILE. FANS on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Let us know what you think about the show and message me there as well. We were talking about these little wacky stories, and I was telling Janice off air that, man, how much I appreciate sometimes kind of like, I guess, like spooky stories. There was a woman who died here in the United States, and she was from Greece. And she died in the United States, and her cousin and a good close friend of hers, they happened to be in Greece. So this woman died in the U.S., and her cousin and a good friend were in Greece. And who did they run into but this woman who passed here in the United States, talking to her, telling what a wonderful time she's having in Greece. They had a conversation for over 20 minutes. And then they wind up going their separate, giving hugs and kisses, going their separate ways, only to find out when they came back to the United States that she passed on here in the United States.
Fatality.
Was that Greek Beat Radio again? Did I say Greek Beat Radio?
Now I got to switch boards.
Greek Beat Radio.
whom I love. I love Greek Meat Radio and all the people that are listening in the UK, especially in London. And we're on the FM station there, too, aren't we, Janice?
I believe we are.
Yes, we are. So thank you all for listening to that. And,
okay, so I have to interrupt you because I have from Ted. He wants to know if the coronavirus destruction affected your live shows at all.
No.
No,
it hasn't. To be honest with you, thank God. I mean, you know.
And then Sarah says that she'd rather ask me the questions than you. So there you go.
Wow.
I have one fan.
What have I done to Sarah? I mean, I'm a giver. I truly am a giver. I give till it hurts me. And for you to say that you would rather have Janice?
Something, isn't it? And then we have Barbara, who asked, and don't answer just yet. Let me finish the whole thing, okay? She said, Basil, when you coming to Sydney? So then I didn't ask you that question yet. And then a little while later, she says, I will continue to ask you till I see tickets available for Sydney. So there you go.
I will be, as a matter of fact, we're working on a big tour with Mr. Joe Avati, who I wind up doing shows with. Joe does the same thing I do, but for the Italian following that he has throughout Australia. So I think I'm going to probably go through his company. We're discussing plans now for 2021. I promise you that I'll be coming to Australia, but we're going to do a major tour. Making sure that we hit the Gold Coast, Brisbane, going down south a little bit to Sydney, Melbourne, all the way down south to Adelaide and over to Perth, up to Darwin, and then even maybe hit Tasmania as well. A lot of fans there. I love my Australian fans. They're great, but my fans throughout Europe are fantastic as well. So there's plans for us to go to Germany. There's plans for us to go back to the UK sometime in November of 2020. So I'm very, very excited about that. So definitely we will be. And then, of course, we just signed that big deal that we did with Equinox Films. And I'm very, very excited with that. We've been very, very blessed. So the press release went out and everyone knows about it. So programming for television, internet, outlets as well, and film. So that's why I've been working on a couple of things right now, scripts and everything. So my company, Spice Rack Entertainment, is doing really well. So I'm very, very blessed that Spice Rack Entertainment and my other company, BZK Productions, are doing well. So thank you for asking. Any other questions that these wonderful people may have?
Well, Sarah said something that I'm going to have to show my ignorance, but I'm going to read it. And then you can tell me why I'm so ignorant, all right?
Okay, go ahead.
She said, you are being Mizzy to our Janice. Mizzy.
Mizzy, which is probably miserable,
Oh.
a short thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Janice, would you tell them the truth how I treat you?
I have.
Yeah, evidently they're not getting it. Do I not call to see how you're doing? Do I not say thank you? And where I go, you go, and you go, I go.
You're very kind to me.
See, so Sarah, one word to you. That's all.
Oh, but she said November in London. Please get as central as you can.
Oh, now you want me back. Now we're all good. And you guys are crazy.
There you go. And then we have Leah Stiles, and I can't read the end because this is it looks like it's on a messenger maybe.
Okay.
Basil, I'm typically not an alarmist. However, in this event of the coronavirus issues, please take care. So there you go. Kind words.
My wife is already making plans to get rid of me. She wants
That's why
me to
she's
do
getting
cruises.
you on the cruises.
She just wants me. No, you should entertain on the most dangerous cruise possible, so you can entertain those people. Well, what about my health? That is secondary. Let's keep the eye on the ball, shall we?
Well,
and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
And Ted says, poor Janice, Stockholm syndrome.
Janice. Yeah. Oh God. Really?
Isn't that grand?
Tacos.
I love it.
Beautiful.
And Urban Dictionary is never too far. So Mizzy is slang hailing from Essex County, meaning black and mild.
Oh.
So if I want my steak Mizzy,
You have to go to England first.
evidently. Well, I got to tell you something which I thought was funny. And, my wife is already making plans after my demise. And she goes, I'm just letting you know this right now. I am going to marry a gay man as soon as you die. And I went, what? And she goes, he's going to cook for me. He's going to wash the clothes. He's going to go ahead and take care of the cleaning the house, outside the house. He's going to take me shopping. He's going to take me
You have
out
a
to
very
dinner.
smart wife.
Yeah, and then I looked at her and told her, hey, I would like a gay man too, to be quite honest.
There you go. And
Yeah.
Adrian is asking
Yes.
if
Oh,
you
God.
could. No, actually, this is quite serious. Tell us more about your deal with Equinox. It sounds really exciting. So you got a couple
thank
minutes.
you.
You wanna do that?
Yeah,
and
well,
Christian, you're not supposed to use Grammarly.
Yeah.
It was Urban Dictionary.
Urban
It was
Dictionary,
urban.
Sarah.
Yes. Black and what? What was it? Black and
Mild.
Black and mild. Kind of dig that in a way. Anyway, I want to say is this is a new relationship, and
The Equinox deal.
the Equinox deal, and it was kind of cool because Mike, we met each other, we started talking, we kind of dug each other. He liked the fresh approach I do on my material. He liked the fresh approach on the shows that I've written, things that I've already prepared, and he dug it, and I thank God, and a lot more press releases will be out there to share with what we are doing. So just be patient.
So Adrian, what that amounts to is I can't tell you anything right now.
But I am very,
In a very nice way.
Yeah, I am very excited, and who knows, Adrian? I'm the first one who told you I think that your book should be made into a movie, and as soon as possible, because that is a wonderful story, and it needs to be made, especially if I'm going to be in it. So, yeah.
Oh my!
Oh my gosh! Yes. So, anything else you want to discuss before we say goodbye to our wonderful fans?
I don't think so. I think it was a good show, though, and I enjoyed it.
I
Thanks for
enjoyed it
making my
too.
day.
Oh, honey, thank you, and for everyone, I got Christian. Thanks for doing this, and for those listeners at Greek Beat Radio.
Catching me off guard again. Here we go. It's coming. Wait.
Greek Beats
There we
Radio.
go.
Beats Radio. Beats Radio. Beats Radio.
Thanks for listening, folks. Don't forget to listen every week on Tuesday from 6 to 7 New York City time. We can be heard all around the world on AmericaMatters.us. If you're using the TuneIn app, just search America Matters. Be sure to keep it on one of your favorites. Questions, comments, go to Basil Fans on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Give me a call. You can always find us anywhere around the world. Email me, info@basillive.com. I want to thank you again. Keep in touch. Stay safe. You're listening to Pinch of Basile.
Bye.